Hello, everybody. Good morning. I would love to know who from here has ever tried Eura products or Eura. Okay, great. Great opportunities here. So today I would like to share with you a bit of what we are doing, our vision. Many people know about our products. Epa. Can you hear me well? Okay. So many people know about our products, but not many people know about our vision and what we stand for. There is a presentation to share with you guys, but it's not appearing. Oh, great. So, Eura Foods, we like to call ourselves the successors because we existed in order to try to make obsolete problems in the food industry and the food system. I think that Eura is an interesting company. It's part of a generation of companies that when doing business, we don't just want to solve the consumer insight, the consumer tension. No, all the companies are solving problems for consumers, giving products or service, but at the same time, what we are doing is solving societal and planetary issues. No? And I think that this is one of the biggest opportunities in the 21st century. It's interesting that in the last 2 centuries, at the beginning of the 20th century, we were 1.5 billion people in the world. Right now, we are 8 billion people in the world. So at the end, many companies have been super useful in order to make sure how we scale up the capacity of access to products and services. No? But I think that in the 21st century, we have the challenge of how to make sure that we can serve this scale at a sustainable level with good impact for society. No? And this is the transformations and the great opportunities as well that brings the following decades. And it's interesting that when think about big industries that we have to transform, we normally think about energy, automotive, but normally we forget about the food system. No? And the food system is the only industry that you are using every day. Well, you can go without eating, but I wouldn't recommend that for a long time. So it's interesting that the food industry right now, taking into account, no, I'm not able to change the slides. So in order to go forward, should I click here? Done, thanks. You had to touch it. So where I was going, no? It's interesting that with the current scale of the food system, right now, the processed foods system, it's around 10 trillion in value, but the externalities from a sanitary perspective, just different diseases that are related to lifestyle are worth 6.7 trillion, no? And also the greenhouse emissions of the food system is 33%. So it's interesting that right now the externalities of the food systems are high in that the value that it's creating, and also it's a sector highly subsidized. And it's interesting that we don't know that the first cause of death in our society right now are non-communicable disease, are cardiovascular disease and cancers by far. And this is super related to lifestyle and therefore diet. No? And it has to do a lot with how our diets transform. No? Here we can see what will be like the recommended Mediterranean diet in many nutrition institutions, and how our diets has transformed in our current diets. No? Not only we are consuming much more calories than are recommended, but we are consuming products that are based on ingredients that are having a negative metabolic impact on us, no? And it impacts on our life expectancy and our quality of life. No? So in a nutshell, what we are trying to do is how we take out the nutrients that have a great metabolic impact and that we should be eating more, and create with them products that we love and that we should be eating less. No? We started by reinventing the ways of doing meat. No? Right now we are eating 5 times more meat than what will be recommended in our society, and far less legumes that are recommended as well. No? And this is what we wanted to change. Also, it's interesting that it's not only an angle of health and nutrition. From an efficiency perspective, it has a huge impact in sustainability. No? The return of investment of giving calories to animals is really crazy bad. We need more than 50 calories of food to only get 1 calorie of beef. No? Imagine going to the bank, putting 50 euros, when you go to throw your money out, you only get 1. You will think that you are being robbed. So this is what's happening right now when we're using this model. No? And this impacts that at the scale that this model has, because we are 8 billion humans, and therefore, no, in order to all of us eat meat, we need more than 80 billion of animals in farms. So right now in the world, only 4% of the mammals live in the wild. The rest are humans and animals in farms. So we need like 83% of the cultivated land in the world to feed animals to only get the 18% of the calories. No? So it's super inefficient, and also it impacts that livestock is the first industry responsible in deforestation, biodiversity loss, groundwater contamination, and antibiotic resistance. No? So these are really big threats. And also, the interesting thing is that this consumption is forecasted to grow 70% in the next decades. No? So it's interesting that I'm coming from a background in activism before starting Eura, leading certain NGOs, at the end, in activism, social movement, what you do is try to empower the consumer by giving them the information, no? But at the same time, you are moving the pressure to the consumer to change behaviors. No? So I started Eura because we wanted to switch that, no? Use technology in order to reinvent the ways of doing the things that we like as humans and take out the pressure for the consumer in order to make the transition and the positive impact more frictionless. No? And that's why we like this term of successors. I think that sometimes the culture, well, the weight of our culture sometimes impacts in having less curiosity about things, and sometimes the benefits are not clear about what this industry that I'm part of is doing. No? And this term successors, I think that it's really appropriate because we keep doing, no, what the foods that we love as a society, we keep renovating the traditions that we have, but making sure, no, that we have the best of meat, the sensorial experience, the product that we like, the proteins, the iron, the B12, but at the same time also the best of vegetables. We have fiber, we have no cholesterol, and we have a better product. No? And from a sustainability perspective, we are emitting, depending on the product, but in average, minus 80% of CO2 emissions. And when you look at other nature impact KPIs, they go also close to the triple digit. No? So at the end, we are not doing anything that other industries have been doing before. No? It's interesting that in this concept that I was saying at the beginning, it's interesting how we use technology to scale consumption as populations were growing, and then we look for better solutions in order to make sure that this consumption was being sustainable. No? If right now we had to flirt by pigeons instead of Tinder, I think that we all will be single here. So at the end, that's what we are doing. We are in supermarkets. All of you that didn't try the product yet, go and enjoy it. You will see that we also keep improving it every year. So if you tried last year and didn't like it, try it again. That maybe this year we are closer. No? And this is also wonderful about making sure that we can create the products, no? Because we can design it to keep improving constantly thanks of the feedback. No? We can make sure that the lipids that are olive oil extra virgin and the flavor keeps improving and the nutritionals keeps improving as well. This is an example, no, of our burger, how it's much better nutritional value than the incumbent one, and in taste we are already even better than the animal. No? That this is something interesting as well, how we can keep improving the products. So we started in 2017 in Barcelona. We are leading the market in Spain and expanding across Europe, very focused in south of Europe. We have the support of many investors, great community, many things, and something interesting is how we have been also investing in science and technology for early on. No? We started more product-based, brand-based, commercialization-based, but going to the market allow us to learn not only the frictions that consumers have, but the frictions that exist in the supply chain. And that's why we decided to invest very early on science and technology to develop new scientific knowledge in order to be able to create technologies that could solve current challenges in the supply chain. No? And this is the wonderful team behind it. 25% of the people in Eura, we are around 100, are part of R&D team, and we have amazing talent that join all over the world in order to make many of the things that I say possible. But this is just the beginning. And at the beginning, I was talking about the food system because we don't see ourselves as a plant-based meat brand or a vegan brand. Our mission is do our part, contribute to try to build a net positive food system. No? I think that this idea is an utopia, but putting ourselves looking there will help us move forward towards that goal. No? And what we have been doing as well, thanks of this focus on how to get the maximum power from legumes, is how we can use them in order to structure textures that could replace many of the ingredients that have negative metabolic impact in our health. No? And we have been able to develop technologies that through legumes as well, these ingredients that we are not consuming as much, be able also to take into many categories that maybe we are more aware of the problems than we are from meat, all this concept of ultra-processed foods. And with that, give a new dimension about the potential of our capacity to transform the food industry. It's interesting that we all know that these products that are here are amazing, we really like them, but we know that we can eat them every day. They are structured through simple carbohydrates like sugars, they are structured with a lot of fat, they are not good for us. But the interesting thing is that all this technological development will allow us to structure this kind of products directly from the proteins, being able to achieve textures that are super indulgent and convenient, that are good for us, and that then a nutritionist will recommend you to eat it often. And that's an interesting thing that also allows us to be able to, and well, taking into account that we are here with entrepreneurs, I think that it's really relevant to understand really well tensions of consumer and tensions of supply chain and go towards solving that, because then it gives you the freedom about how to be able to impact at a scale with much more impact. And be able to have these solutions is what right now is allowing us to partner with big corporations in order to share this technology with them, while we also we launch our products to make sure that we can also transform the negative impacts of the food industry at scale with them. And these are examples of the brands that we could be transforming with this technology, but this is only the beginning. What we are focused right now is how we are displacing certain micronutrients and ingredients that are not good for us from proteins, but we are also working in how we can even upcycle waste for the food industry in order to bring also fibers into the products and reduce even more our nature impact. But to finish, all this sounds awesome. When I think about the future, I really see many companies working in really exciting things, solving problems that also many companies, big companies, food companies, want to solve, but they don't know how to. But what worries me the most is the consumer acceptance. I think that for technology, we sometimes see clearly the benefits. We all want to be more productive with our time, but when it comes to certain habits like food, sometimes the curiosity is much more difficult because we don't have the same knowledge about nutrition, about the environmental impact, about things. We try to solve that with our communication. But with that, what I will encourage you is to try what we are doing, try this kind of products, because the speed of this transformation in the food industry on one hand will depend on the technology, but on the other hand will depend on all of us. So thanks a lot for your attention.
So, thank you so much, Mark. It's the first time that I see you today, face to face, in real life. We had some meetings up front, so now we will continue with a fire chat. And yes, so I'm Isabel Ostermeier from SAP. I'm the head of user experience for the small medium enterprises, and my focus at my work is user-centered experience in technology and design. So, and today, after this very impressive presentation, I really love to have some questions. I like to challenge you a little bit.
Let's try.
So, first of all, you talked about impact. Yeah, and you know, I just learned that last week, here was the Taylor Swift concert. Yeah, you don't believe it, what this company did. Any guess? No? No guess? Come on. It's
we
food.
sang.
About food? Yeah? There was food. You actually delivered the food over there. Yeah, and we believe it was more than 10,000 people probably consuming your plant-based food. And you know, and this has an impact. Can you imagine the impact? And I think, I don't know, have you shown the slide with the impact if 100 people consume 1 time a day plant meals? This will actually impact CO2.
7 planes from Barcelona to Londres.
Yeah? Yeah, it's the plain CO2 consumption that we save. So that's 10,000 times. Come on. This is amazing, isn't it? Yeah? Woo! A big impact. A big impact. It's unbelievable. Yeah? So
kudos to Taylor Swift that she said, okay, I want all my concert to have plant-based, and they choose us as the partner.
Yes.
And well, the impact there, I don't know how many burgers, but I imagine that there were more than 10,000.
Yeah.
So multiply the planes, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. And when I have seen this message, I was totally blown away, and this was last week. So, good. Back to technology. So you also talked about habits. Yeah. So we human, we know how meat tastes. Yeah, how it is, how to bite into something. How do you use technology to make the plant-based food, what you actually deliver, tasteable, that they really want to have it? How do you do the texture? How do you do it?
Many elements there. But yeah, humans, change is difficult for us.
Yeah.
So at the end, our job is how to make frictionless. And also make it in a way that we create trust to the consumer, no? That this is interesting. I think that there is no much trust towards the food industry, and there is a lot of sometimes doubt, no, about food, that's impact. So what we are doing is how we really do a lot of science to create really simple technologies that allow us to do simple processes that people can really understand and that then can impact in the products that we do. But in a nutshell, at the end, when you look, for example, what we are doing right now, meat, but you see that this is just the beginning of many things to come. But at the end, when you analyze meat, it's mainly proteins, lipids, that it's fats and oils, it's minerals, vitamins, and water. No? And this is also in the plant-based kingdom. So at the end, what we do is we come from the legumes, and we do certain mechanical process that allow us to create fibrous structures. No? From there, we add the lipids that we normally work with olive oil extra virgin, and then different natural components for color and flavor. But at the end, what we are doing is going super deep into analyzing many variables that impact in how to bring all these products together. No? Until now, the food industry was doing a lot of industrialization, and the technology was very focused at scaling and engineering. but where we are bringing all the scientific knowledge is in the interactions of the ingredients and know-how of ingredients functionality and how things can go together. No, we analyze very deeply many technical aspects about proteins, their charts, their pH, the interactions with the other ingredients, the mixing, and all that. What allow us is to be able to create products and textures without even needing to use additives, for example, or ingredients that people distrust, even though that they are safe, but they impact in having less nutritional value because they take space for the nutrient-dense ingredients. So that's especially what we're doing now, doing lots of science of how to leverage more the potential of plant-based ingredients and applying then simple processes that are already standards in the food industry, using equipment in the food industry that allow us also to partner with current manufacturers in order to scale up faster.
Okay, okay, interesting. So
Long answer, huh?
long answer, yeah, but very interesting. So, and when we take now AI as a topic, because AI is everywhere. So, what do you think? How will AI help you maybe to change mindsets also on the consumer side?
In the consumer side, will have a lot of impact because it will help us not to segment better, no? To tackle the benefits. There are many reasons why people want to change or motivations. AI can help you to structure more, no? To create this bridge easier, to solve, no? The tension that people have in order to bring more value to the solution. But it's interesting that the food industry, we are not very digitalized. And there, at the end, for the AI to have impact, you need data, no? And in order to have it structured and give you solutions, no? Towards the consumers, I think that there will be a lot of impact, certainly in industrialization. But for what we are essentially doing, at the end, what we need is great minds, because in order to generate new knowledge, we can't yet rely on AI. We have to develop it ourselves. Certain knowledge generation that's happening in AI, we even don't understanding how is landing there, no? So, well.
So it's a future topic, let's say. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's something I really believe it might be something that will also help you to understand, or maybe even to push it to end users on a personalized basis. So that would be the vision, right? That we come with AI maybe into this direction right now.
Yeah, and also the current screening of scientific knowledge, we can do it faster thanks of AI. But the generation part, we still need lots of humans.
Yes, I just checked the time, so we don't have too much time anymore left. I have two last questions to you. So one question is also about your future. You already told something like you started with the meat approach, but there's much more you really believe you will also invest and look into. Can you give a little bit more details about this again? What will be the future on your product segments?
At the end, what technology will help us is to redefine what we thought it was possible. No? What we are doing is already with the meat, no? Through legumes, being able to get a meat experience. No? So we can bring that to other technologies as well, no? Because there are many foods that we really love to eat, but that we really know that are not good for us. No? And in order to elevate our impact, we want to start moving the technology into the categories that people are already more aware that we will be doing change. No? It's interesting that all this data I always like to share because it's something really relevant that we don't know, but we all know, no, that a Nutella is not good for us. We all know that mayonnaise, it's structured through fats, and that is where we want to focus more in order to elevate more the impact that we can accelerate change in the food industry.
Okay, yeah, very interesting, very good. So for me, that what you are doing with your company and what you started, and also your background history, that you have been an activist, was for me very much mindset changing, I have to say. So because I'm a vegetarian anyway, So I'm not a meat eater. But I was never into the food plant topic, how to say it, I never combined it with the subsensibility so far. So with getting you to know, getting your background to know, also to see what you did with the Taylor Swift concert as one example, this helped me really to see this, what you do is not just about food, this is really a bigger story. This is about subsensibility. It's really about to help the planet to survive, right?
And ourselves to live
And
better.
ourselves today. And then, of course, in combination with technology and with the future, what we see with AI, this will be even more powerful.
Exactly. And having also SAP right now in our systems,
Yes, SAP is
we can
also
reach
there.
a scalability that we
Yes.
couldn't have before.
Yes, so then let's continue our partnership.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.